anybody had a loose connection on DC jack right there, power in, Casio keyboard. These little keys light up, which is pretty sweet. Here is the original plug. Okay, original plug, Casio AC. Well, check this out. I'm going to plug it in. Now, there's a little bit of play here. There's a lot more play here. Okay. So now what I did was I went out and got a different plug because it was cheap. It was like $6 eBay or something like that. And I'm like, well, hopefully it's the plug. Let me just bite the bullet. And I plug it in. And it's the same amount of play. The problem is actually this jack right there. And basically I went online again and I paid $10 to get this jack over here. They gave me 3 jacks actually. I can only find 2. I don't know where the other jack is. Probably out with Joe, perhaps. But it's got 3 connections here, and then there's this putty, gooey stuff. It probably just keeps the thing in tight there. So all we're going to use is we're going to use robot yarn. It's basically braided. It's going to wick away 1, 2, and 3 spots of solder. What we're going to use is we're going to use this Weller West D51. I think I got this, I don't know, for $100. It was on some deal. Here's the wand. Here's the soldering iron. There's the unit. I've already wet the sponge with wetness, right? Water. That's what you wet it with. Take this and we're going to maybe just, I don't know, 700 degrees. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I'm just spitballing. Right now, I guess it starts at 240. See, and it goes up pretty quick. I'll just wait here. Okay, basically we're at 700. Right there, we're basically gonna use that to pull away the, there's the 3rd jack. See, I got 3 jacks. I'll take my soldering iron, and I'll just take this stuff, I'll just place it on top, right there. And I'm gonna heat up the braided copper, and it actually may get hot. It may translate up the braid. Yeah, I can feel it coming up the braid. You see that smoke that's coming off? That's not anything you want to inhale. All right, I soaked up a bunch there. Go to this other one. I think this is called the desoldering braid. You gotta push one of these tabs actually in here, and I'll just do the soldering iron. I think I still will have success, even though this is terrible. It's botched. Just a complete botchery. So I probably want to clean this up so they don't cross-communicate. I think I will try to use this. So now we can put this one back in. Not back in, we can just put it in, period. Whoops. I want to go fry another circuit board over here. So I've got these 2 in because there was no solder actually there. This guy should just slide in once I heat it up. There we go. See? And I'll go ahead and glurp. I'll glurp on some of this good stuff. Actually, I'll bend this out like it was. But let's just get this connected here. Yeah, so one way to actually disperse that noxious chemicals that's coming off of this solder and plastic and PCB board and all that stuff is to have a fan. And then this is just a PC fan. I've hooked it up to a USB plug, basically stick it in a battery pack. Do I have power? No, I don't, do I? Yeah, so you could either use one of these fans, which I kind of like. You got the 4 AA batteries. It's a piece of crap. $6, $7, $8. Although the fan has been blowing for quite some time, just all on the 4 AA's. And you got a power plug you can stick in there. But this will end up blowing off the stuff that you don't want to inhale. Again, the other thing I was talking about was using a PC fan. Connected it up to a USB cable. I think this is powered, but normally I'd get a light that actually shows up on there. But let's try using one of these. USB adapter, power adapter. Stick it in the old plug right there. Okay. It doesn't blow a lot, but it's probably enough to get the smoke away from your face. I'd probably go with something like this so you don't have to plug anything in, because that can get annoying. We've soldered it in there. We want to check the connection here. So remember the loose connection that we had? Yeah. It's right about there is when it would get loose, and then the power would go out. Okay. So let's just check it on one that we haven't installed. Yeah, that's super tight all the way around. The only way to test this out is actually plug this in and see what happens. Since there was actually nothing wrong with this power supply, we won't even use the one that we got as a test. So we'll go ahead and plug this in. We'll make sure that there's no shorting that could possibly occur. We've got it all soldered in from what I can tell. Now let's keep our hands off of the board, really. And the power button is actually going to be, I got the power button right there. So we'll plug it in. Okay. And I got power on the board there. Okay, so it works. We can spin it and it still works. So we have fixed the DC jack, and we are happy with that because that allows us to use it, sell it, whatever we need to do to move on to the next. But yeah, let's go ahead and disconnect, put all our screws in, and that's how we do the board, man. It's pretty easy when you got such big connections there. It gets a little harder when your connections start becoming a bit tinier and you have to be a little more precise and have more skill, to be honest, such as like connections like these. So yeah, man, fix your DC jacks. If it's a little bit loose, don't think it's the cord. Not in my case. It wasn't the cord. I wasted $6. Should have just gotten the DC jacks right off the bat. And that's what it ended up being when it was a little loose. So, hey, I'm not going to send you on a wild goose chase to find the DC jacks, but if I can find some, I'll stick it in the links below. Yeah, I'm going to stick the soldering iron in the link below. It's a Weller WESD51, and maybe I'll put a couple other products that I like to use for soldering, and maybe the desoldering braid is cool. This is actually cool. It's a Stay Clean Liquid Flux. If you put that on the end of any of your wires, it just pulls in the solder, so it makes it almost like you're a pro. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and zip this up and call it a day.